Alright, well, our D grade is safe, so we're moving into the questions now we need to get right in order to secure the grade C. So this is one of these understanding questions where you really get your head around exactly what's going on. So Janet has many rods of length 3 centimeters and 4 centimeters. By placing the rods as shown below, she can see that one pencil is 5 centimeters long and the other is 7. With this one, the total from there to there is 8 centimeters. If that's pushing 3 centimeters in, then the space that's left is going to be 4 less 3. So 8 less 3, which is 5 centimeters. And here, putting those two rods together gives you 7, so that must be 7 too. So with this particular arrangement, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 fours underneath. So that's going to be a distance of 16 centimeters. 6 centimeters is going to be eaten up by those rods, which means that pencil is going to be the difference between 16 and 6, which is 10 centimeters. Part 2. Draw a sketch to show how you could measure a length of 7 centimeters in a different way to the one shown in the example above. So what you're looking to do here is to think of basically your 4 times table and your 3 times table, and you're looking for a number in the 4 times table which, when you take it away from another number in the 3 times table, is going to give you a difference of 7. Okay, so if I have got let me think here, if I'm working in 3s, let's have a look, let's put our table down here, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 and so on. And then in the 4 times table I've got 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. I'm looking for a difference of 7. And I can see here that 9 and 16 have got a difference of 7. So if I get 3 centimeter rods together, three, and 4 centimeter rods together, 1, 2, 3, 4, then what I'm going to have there is a bottom which has got 16 and a top which has got 9, which means that this gap here will be 7 centimeters. Draw a sketch to show how you could measure a length of 1 centimeter. Well, 1 centimeter, I'm looking for a difference of 1 centimeter, and you could just use a 3 centimeter and a 4 centimeter. Would give you a difference of 1. Let's just check we haven't used that one. No, it's not up there in the examples. So if we got a 4 centimeter and above it a 3, then that would give us 1 centimeter. In part B, the rods have changed. They're 5 centimeters and 7 centimeters. So again, what you're looking for is your 5 times table, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and your 7 times table, 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, and you're looking for which combination will give you a gap or a difference of 8. So what we got here of 8, well, 20 and 28 has got a gap of 8, so that would be 4 of the 5 rods and 4 of the 7 rods. 2, oops. So that would then leave you, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 4s are 28 there, and 4 5s are 20 there, leaving you an 8 centimetre gap. And a difference of 1, well, you'd want here to be looking again for a gap of 1, and you can see that you've got a gap of 1 there, which would be 3 7 centimetre rods and 4 5 centimetre rods. So 3 of those. Seven, 7, 7, and 4 of the 5 centimetre rods. So you've got 21 beneath, and you've got 20 above, giving you a gap of 1. Okay, so that's a peculiar little question that you've really just got to try and work out yourself. Okay, these ones are more traditional now. Question 12. A cylinder is labelled P, a hexagon is Q, a tetrahedron is R, and a cuboid is S. Now usually you will recognise most of those, but not necessarily all, and I'd guess that you'd be a bit shaky on what a tetrahedron is. So if you can work out where the other ones go, the chances are whatever's left is the tetrahedron. So a cylinder, well, a cylinder is a shape that's got circular ends, so it's that one, so that's P. A hexagon is not a three-dimensional shape, a hexagon is a two-dimensional shape, so that one's Q. And then what have we got left? 8 vertices. It has exactly 4 triangular faces. Well, I know a cuboid hasn't got any triangular faces, so I know that my cuboid must be that, and the tetrahedron is the one that's left, which is R. And that's exactly right. A tetrahedron is a triangular based pyramid, so it would have that on the base, and then it would have the sides coming down like that. And a vertex is a corner, so on your cuboid, which looks like that, each of these, 1, 2, 3, 4 are the vertices. So there's 4 there, and then there's another 4 on that side, making 8. Okay, number 13 is a tricky one again. It's worth 6 marks, so there's quite a lot of work in this. Let's see if you can follow what I'm going to do here. So in 2010, Michelle drove a car 11,890 miles. Overall, the car travels 39 miles to the gallon. The cost of a gallon of petrol was £5.96. By using approximations to the above figures, estimate the cost per week of the petrol Michelle bought in 2010. So it's estimate. So we're going to round these figures off to something much more user-friendly to work with. So I'm going to round off 11,890 to 12,000. That's going to be easier to work with. So she's going to be travelling 12,000 miles per year. And I'm going to estimate that there are 50 weeks in a year. I know there are 52, but 50 is easy to work with. So I've now got enough information there to work out how many miles she drives in a week. So in 1 week, Michelle drives, and what you have to do is divide 12,000 by 50. Well, you can divide both of those by 10, so the sum that you're actually going to do is 5 into 1200. 5 goes into 1, it doesn't, so you carry it. 5 into 12 goes twice, 2 5s are 10, remainder 2. 5 into 20 goes 4 times, and then 5 into 0 goes 0. So she drives 240 miles a week. Okay, and her car travels 39 miles to the gallon. We're going to change that to 40 miles to the gallon. So now I've got enough information to work out how many gallons she needs. It's going to be 240 divided by 40. Again, the zeros will cancel. You're dividing top and bottom by 10, and 24 divided by 4 is 6 gallons. So every week she needs 6 gallons of petrol, and the cost of petrol, £5.96? I don't think so. I'm estimating it's going to be £6 per gallon. So £6 a gallon, she needs 6 gallons, will be £36 per week. Okay, I'll talk you through that again. It's estimating, so the whole point with estimating is that you're rounding the numbers to something that's easier to work with. So rather than work with 11,890, I'm going to work with 12,000 miles. Instead of working with 52 weeks a year, I'm going to work with 50. So in order to work out how many miles she does in 1 week, it's going to be 12,000 divided by 50. Well, you can divide up and down by 10, so the sum that you're going to do is 1200 divided by 5, works out to be 240. 240 miles a week. Her car does 39 miles to the gallon. I'm going to work with 40 miles to the gallon, because 240 divided by 40 is something that's easy to work out. So in 1 week, Michelle needs 6 gallons, and I'm approximating, so instead of doing 6 times £5.96, I'm going to do £6 times 6, which is £36 a week. Games of chance. As you know, these come up pretty regularly. What we need to do first of all is find out what the rule is for filling in the table. So we've got a box containing 4 discs numbered 1, 3, 5 and 6 respectively, and a bag which contains 4 cards coloured red, yellow, blue and green respectively. In a game, a player takes 1 disc at random from the box and takes 1 coloured card at random from the bag. The score for the game is calculated as follows. If the card is red or yellow, the score is the number on the chosen disc. If the card is blue, the score is double the number on the disc, and if the card is green, the score is 3 times the number on the disc. Complete the following to show all the possible scores, and the best thing to do is to pick one that you already know the answer for and make sure you can get 10. So what we're doing here is it's a blue, so if the card is coloured blue, the score is double the number on the disc. The number on the disc there is 5, you double it, you get 10. So this one, the blue, we're going to double that, double 3, we get 6. Blue, we double 6, we get 12. If the card is coloured green, the score is 3 times the number. So that one there, 3 6s are 18. So this is going to be 3 3s are 9, 3 5s are 15. So that's the table. Find the probability that the score is less than 5. So the number of possible scores that are less than 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 numbers less than 5. It's a probability, so you have to write it as a fraction where the number on the bottom is the total number of possible outcomes for this game. And there are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 16 possible outcomes. So the chances of it being less than 5 is 6 out of 16. Player wins if the score is less than 5. If 160 people each play the game once, how many would you expect to win? Well, what this is saying is every time 16 people play the game, you would expect 6 of them to win. So if you divide your 160 up into groups of 16, in every group you would have 6 winners. So you do 160 divided by 16, which is 10. Okay, so you've got 10 groups playing the game, and in every one of those groups there's 6 winners. So you would expect 60 out of the 160 to be winners. Explain that again. In every 16 people that play the game, 6 will win. So we're working in groups of 16. If there are 2 groups of 16, you'd have 12 winners. Because 160 people play the game, 160 divided by 16 means we've got 10 groups of winners. And in every one of those 10 groups, we'll have 6 winners. So 6 lots of 10, 60 winners. It costs 50 pence to play the game once. The price for winning the game is £1. If 160 people play the game once, how much profit would you expect to make? So the money into this game will be 160 people playing, each of them paying 50 pence. Well, 50 pence is half a pound, so half of 160, £80 will be paid into this game, and we've got 60 winners, each of the winners winning £1. Means that coming out of this game will be £60. So the profit would be the difference between how much money everybody's paid in and what the game have had to pay out to winners. So you would expect this game to make £20 profit. If you get that, and we haven't made any mistakes yet, then we're into the grade C now. Everything we get from here is a bonus, or will make up for anything you got wrong previously. Number 15, 2 cubed means 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8. 5 squared is 5 times 5, which is 25. So what we have to do is 25 times 8. 5 8s are 40, 0 down, carry 4. 2 8s are 16, add the 4, oops, it's 200. When you're adding or subtracting fractions, you can't do it until the numbers on the bottom are the same. So you look at the fractions that you've got, and hopefully you can see here that if I double this fraction, if I double 4, I get 8. If I double the bottom, I have to double the top as well. So what I end up writing is 5 8ths take away 2 8ths. 2 8ths is the same as a quarter. Once the denominators, that's the number on the bottom of the fraction, is the same, I can then subtract the numbers on top. 5 take away 2 is 3 8ths. The cube root of 27, well, the cube root is the opposite of the cube number. So what this is saying is what number, if you multiply by itself 3 times, gives you 27. So 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. That's not it. 2 times 2 times 2 is 2 2s are 4, 4 2s are 8. That's not it. 3 times 3 times 3, 3 3s are 9, 9 3s are 27. So 27 is a cube number of 3, so the cube root of 27 is 3. It's the number that when you multiply it by itself 3 times gives you 27. Okay, scatter graph. This one has been drawn for us. So let's have a look what it's telling us. The scatter diagram shows the height in centimeters and the weight in kilograms for each of 15 people. Right, let's work out the scale. We're going from 130 to 140, 10 units in 10 jumps. So every little square that way is 1, and this way is exactly the same. Write down the heaviest of the 15 people. So the weight increases this way. So you're looking for the dot that's furthest to the right of the axis. You can see that the heaviest person isn't the tallest person, it's this person here, and he's going to have a height of 170. Write down the weight of the shortest. So height is along here, so the shortest person is going to be the person with the smallest number on this axis, and that person is there. That's the shortest, and his weight is 50. Write down the type of correlation. Well, as the weight is increasing, generally the height is also increasing, so it's positive. Draw by eye the line of best fit. So again, we're not given a mean point in this question. We just have to draw it in so that it's more or less the same slope as the data that we've got, and with a similar sort of number above or below. So I am going to go there. That's pretty good. Estimate the weight of a person of height 160. So 160 is there. Do it on your graph, so you're showing the examiner the right thing. So you're going from 160, you're reading to the line that you've drawn, and then down vertically from your line. And your line may be slightly different to mine, so your answer may be slightly different. It doesn't matter. We've got 58 kilograms. I've got 58 kilograms for that. Okay, then we got a locus question. So there's 3 marks, 2 constructions and a shading. So the first construction, the points are nearer to B than they are to A. So A and B are points. So equidistant between those 2 points is the perpendicular bisector. You get your compass, you put the compass point on A, and you open the compass so that it's more than halfway between A and B. You don't have to measure it, you just need to make sure that it's more than halfway. Then you draw an arc from that point, both sides of your line. Then, without changing the radius of your compass, you put the point now on the other point B, the compass point on B, and you draw arcs which cross the 2 that you'd drawn previously. When you join those 2 together, that is the boundary between A and B. If you're above that blue line, you're closer to A. If you're below that blue line, you're closer to B. The second condition there is the points are less than 8 centimeters from A. Well, A is a point, so less than 8 centimeters from A is going to be a circle or part of a circle of radius 8. So you get your compass, you put the compass point on 0, you open your compass out so that the pencil reaches 8, then you get your point on A and you draw your circle. So there's part of your circle, and now you have to shade the bit that satisfies both. So the points are nearer to B than to A, so they're below my green line, but they're less than 8 centimeters from A, so they're inside my circle. So it's this region here. And usually, if you're unsure about the shade, it's usually an area which is completely enclosed. If it had been above there, it would have been much more difficult to shade. Question 18. The picture shows 2 fair dice. The number of dots on opposite faces of each of these dice add up to 7. The top faces above have 1 dot and 4 dots. What is the product of the number of dots on the bottom faces of these dice? Well, product means times, multiply. So what this is asking you to do is to work out what numbers on the bottom of that, what numbers on the bottom of that dice, and then multiply them together. So because they add up to 7, if that's got 1 dot above it, it means the 6 is below it. And if that's got 4, it must have 3 underneath it to add up to 7. So what they're asking you to do there in a long drawn out way is write down what 6 times 3 is. And the final set of questions on this paper are some trickier algebra questions. Simplify means you're not going to get an answer. It's not an equation. All they're asking you to do here is to apply your laws of algebra to make it easier than the way that it's already written. Here we've got brackets, so the first thing we have to do is get rid of those brackets. When you get rid of brackets, you're multiplying. You're multiplying that 4 by everything that's inside that bracket. So we've got 4 times 2x is 8x. 4 times 3 is 12. And then the same for this bracket here. 3 times 3x is 9x, and it's a plus. And then 3 times 8 is 24. But here we're doing plus times a minus. If the signs are different when you're multiplying, the answer is negative. If the signs are the same, the answer would be positive. So that gives us that, but we can simplify that further because I've got similar terms. I've got 8x there plus 9x there, which makes 17x. And then I've also got a plus 12 and negative 24. So on my number line, that's saying you're standing at positive 12 and then you're going down 24 places. Where will you end up? You'll end up at minus 12. And that's it. There's no equals, it's not an equation, you're not going to end up with an answer x equals. That's as simple as you get. This is another bracket question. Expand means get rid of the bracket. So we're going to be multiplying y by y cubed. Well, when you multiply y by y cubed, what you're multiplying is y times y times y, which is y cubed, by another y, which is y to the 4. So that times that is going to be y to the 4, and then that times that is just going to be 7y. And again, it's not an equation. There is no answer. That is all you can do. But for the next two, we've got the word solve and we've got equal signs. That means we do need to get numerical answers for this. They are equations. Let's deal with this one first of all. The first thing that we need to do is get rid of the plus 7. We get rid of a plus 7 by doing the opposite of adding 7, which is subtracting 7. If we subtract 7 from the left hand side, we have to subtract 7 from the right hand side as well. So that means we get x over 3 is 5. Now we need to get rid of that 3. That 3 is joined to the x by a divide. So we've got to undo a divide by 3. The opposite of dividing by 3 is multiplying by 3. If I multiply that side by 3, I've got to multiply that side by 3 as well, giving me x equals 15. And for this one, again, it's an equation. The word is solve, and it's got an equal sign. First thing we do, clear out the brackets. 3 times 2y is 6y. 3 times 5 is 15. And then we write the rest of the equation down. So 3 2's 6y, 5 3's 15 equals 45. Then we do the same as above. First of all, we get rid of the add 15 by subtracting 15. 45 take away 15 is 30. The 6 is joined to the y by a times, so I'm going to undo times 6. I undo a times 6 by dividing by 6. 30 divided by 6 is 5. And there's plenty of questions like that in the topic part of the website if you need to practice more of those. And that's the end of that paper one. So hopefully you got enough marks there to get your C grade and you're feeling pretty good with yourself.